There's a certain kind of Sunday night where your brain feels like a browser, with 50 tabs open and a fan that never turns off. The thought sneaks in between emails and calendar invites. What if I just stepped off the treadmill for a bit? Not forever. Not, I'm moving to a lighthouse and learning the cello. Just a real pause. 3 to 6 months where mornings start slow, the to-do list is homemade, and your energy stops belonging to other people's urgencies. The fantasy is easy. The part that stops us is the money story we tell ourselves. Breaks are for the rich, the lucky, or the already retired. In reality, a mini-sabbatical is a logistics problem disguised as a dream. Solve the logistics with a few calm moves, and the dream gets practical fast. Start with a date, not a budget. Pick a season that feels right, after a big project wraps, before school starts, when the weather turns friendly, and circle it. A circled date does something strange to your money. It nudges every decision between now and then into clarity. You'll notice the apps you don't use, the dinners that don't matter, the little leaks that add up. You'll also notice what you refuse to cut because it actually keeps you sane. That audit becomes your sabbatical draft plan without you ever opening a spreadsheet. Now do the simplest math on earth. What does it take to keep my life running while I'm not working? Not life at Instagram peak, life at peaceful baseline. Rent or mortgage, utilities, health insurance, groceries, the small comforts that keep the days warm rather than brittle. Everything else is optional and can be scheduled later if there's room. You're not trying to sand your life down to monk mode. You're trying to make sure the core stays steady so the break feels like rest, not a scavenger hunt. With the baseline in view, give every paycheck from now until your start date a second identity. When money lands, skim a slice straight into a sabbatical bucket before you do anything else, like you're paying a future bill, because you are. Name the bucket. Something that makes you grin. Porch Coffee Fund, Unplug Project, Morocco or Bust. Names are silly and effective. You're reminding your brain what this money is for when the shoe sale tries to flirt with you. If your job offers a bonus, a tax refund, or the occasional freelance check, split windfalls on autopilot. Half stays in present use world. Half goes to the sabbatical bucket with zero debate. People underestimate the power of deciding once. A handful of once decisions is how most plans actually get built. Housing is the big lever. You don't have to uproot your life to make the numbers work, but a small housing move can open the door by itself. Subletting a room for part of the break turns empty square footage into glide path. A house swap with friends in another city turns rent into adventure without paying twice. Even a quiet negotiation with your landlord, longer renewal in exchange for a month at a reduced rate while you're away, can shave the edge off. None of this requires a grand speech. It's a few emails that start with, "I love living here and I have a plan." Health coverage is the other knot that scares people into staying put. Don't let it. If your employer offers a short, unpaid leave with continued benefits, great. Document it. If not, there are still calm routes. Marketplace plans exist for exactly this season. Cobra is the priciest but sometimes the least complicated, and complicated has a cost. The trick is to choose the routine you'll actually follow. A plan you can manage without thinking is better than the perfect plan you avoid dealing with. Work, of course, is not just a paycheck. It's also identity, routines, and other people's expectations. The cleanest way to ask is also the least dramatic. You're not begging for permission to vanish. You're proposing a structured pause that avoids chaos for your team. Bring a short memo, a start and end date, a handoff list, a plan for documenting what only you know, and the names of 2 people you'll train before you go. Offer to package your role like a kit, checklists, contacts, pitfalls. Managers say yes more easily when they can see the edges. And if your workplace can't accommodate a formal leave, the same plan becomes your exit ramp and keeps your reputation shiny for your return. If your sabbatical includes travel, resist the urge to turn rest into a project. 1 or 2 anchor experiences, slow mornings in a place you've wanted to try, a language class, a hike that earns its dinner, beat the 12-city blitz that leaves you needing a vacation after your vacation. Booking longer stays in fewer places lowers the bill and the decision fatigue. You'll spend less and remember more. If you're staying local, pretend your city is new. Eat in a different neighborhood on Tuesdays. Borrow a dog and discover the parks at odd hours. Take the bus to the end of the line and walk back. Routine is cheaper than novelty and often delivers the same spark. Money inside the sabbatical flows best when it's containerized. Keep your normal bill money where it lives now and open a simple debit account just for daily spending during the break. Transfer a set amount weekly. When it runs low, the weekends quietly. You've created a soft boundary that doesn't require willpower. You're steering with the lane markers, not gripping the wheel. The friends and family part is tender and important. Tell people what the break is for before they fill it with their ideas. I'm taking a season to rebuild energy and write in the mornings. I'm still me. I'm just off the clock. That sentence gives your favorite people a map. Some will cheer and bring soup. Some will send you articles about why this is a mistake. You can thank them and keep going. Not everyone gets your rest. That's okay. The quiet powerhouse of any break is a re-entry plan that exists before you step away. That doesn't mean lining up your next job. It means choosing one or two outputs you'll feel proud to point to when you're back in interview mode, or when your current boss asks how it went. A small portfolio piece. A certification you can finish without hating it. A short write-up of what you learned about your own working style and how you plan to apply it. You're not trying to justify the break. You're turning it into a story you can tell in 2 minutes that ends with a manager thinking, I want that clarity on my team. There will be a moment near the start when you feel a little seasick. The calendar is emptier than it's been in years. Your phone still thinks it owns you. The trick is to design a morning that decides the day. A walk, a notebook, coffee you actually taste, one task that moves your sabbatical forward. If nothing else happens, you still did the part that mattered. Whole weeks change when mornings change. And there will be a moment near the end when anxiety taps your shoulder and whispers that you should have done more. That's your old pace trying to reclaim you. Look at your mornings. Look at your shoulders. Are they lower than they were? Did you remember what things feel like when you're not rushing? Did you make something? Memories, meals, sentences, strength that didn't exist before? That counts. The best breaks don't prove anything. They remove what doesn't belong so you can notice what does. Money-wise, the measure of success isn't that you came back richer. It's that you came back intact with a plan that survived contact with real life. Your sabbatical bucket did its job. Your bills got paid without drama. You return with a nervous system that isn't ringing like a fire alarm and a story about what kind of work brings out your best. That story is a currency too. It buys better conversations, better boundaries, and often, quietly, a better offer. If you want a tiny push, try a test week. Pick 7 days you can control a bit. Live like the break already started. Protect mornings. Spend from your sabbatical debit account. Ignore the apps that make you twitchy. See how it feels and what breaks. Fix those snags in miniature, and your full-length version will glide. You don't have to earn a pause with suffering. You don't need to be burnt to a crisp to deserve a season of slower. You need a date, a baseline, a bucket with a name, a plan your manager can understand, and a routine that makes your days gentle. That's not a fantasy. That's logistics. And logistics you can do. Circle the date. Send the first dollars to the bucket before today gets loud. Write the 3-line note that starts the conversation at work. The rest will look a lot less like a leap and a lot more like steps you chose on purpose toward a life that fits.